Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala habibina Muhammad sallallahu
I just want you to look at this. This is a bird's eye view of Medina. So you get to see like what I'm talking about from a bird's eye perspective. So this is Medina, the city of the Prophet ﷺ. If you look at the very top, that's the mountain of Uhud. Like we said, the entire city of the Prophet ﷺ was within this green gate that goes all the way around. And a little bit more, which is the Suq, which is at the edge of the city. Then you have the city of the Prophet ﷺ, which was roughly, first, the home of the Prophet ﷺ, which is underneath the green dome. This was the home of Aisha radiallahu anha. And the rest of the homes of the Prophet ﷺ was in the back, behind it, one after the other. So behind the home of Aisha was the home of Fatima and Ali radiallahu anha. And to the side of the home of Aisha was the home of Sauda radiallahu anha. And behind the home of Ali and Fatima radiallahu anha was the home of Salama. And then Zainab, and etc. all the way down. Then there was the Masjid. The Masjid roughly is that green chained wall. When you go to the Rawda on your left, you see that green wall? That's roughly the wall of the Masjid. Not entirely. Not entirely. Because there's about 3 meters of Rawda behind that green chained wall. That means there's 3 meters of Rawda that we could have prayed on, that somebody decided we're going to make a security zone between the grave of the Prophet ﷺ. So when you're actually in the Rawda, there's a green chained wall. There's 3 meters. Then there's a curtain that goes to the green dome, all the way to the roof. Behind that curtain is a pentagon wall that goes deep into the ground. It's shaped like a pentagon, like this. Behind that wall is another wall that's shaped like a square. Behind that wall is another wall, which is the wall of the home of Aisha radiallahu anha. And behind that is where the Prophet ﷺ is buried. So when the men say salam to the Prophet, they're roughly 6 meters from the body of the Prophet ﷺ. He's good preserved, alhamdulillah. And the Prophet ﷺ used to come here and relax on a hot day, like you're facing these days, with 114 degrees outside. The Prophet ﷺ would come here and relax, eat from the dates, and drink from this water. There's an event that took place. The companions of the Ansar, the citizens of Medina, they gathered in this exact location, in this garden, in order to choose who the next leader of the Muslims would be. And they thought because they're the citizens of Medina, they have right to decide who would be that person. So the Muhajirin did this exactly. Why did they do this before they even buried Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? They did this 2 days before they buried the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We already explained the first reason, because everybody was taking their time to pray. 12,000 people individually. The second reason is because these people understood the importance of central authority in Islam. They didn't mufti, Google, and Sheikh, YouTube their Islam. They had a direct access to leadership who could contextualize their faith and be relevant and to give an answer that is appropriate for their time and place. That is why they chose Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu as their leader. In fact, the very first command in the Quran, after you're Muslim, after U'budullah, worship Allah, after pray, after fast, after give charity, be good to people, all that, and the 6 pillars of faith, believing unseen, the angel, all of that, the very first command in the Quran is Manaf means trade goods. So they used to sell clothes and food in this marketplace. There was another market near Baqiyah. That market was for animals. So obviously you don't want to put animals next to food. So go down, look at these pictures. Look at some of these pictures. These are the oldest pictures of Medina. They go back to the 1880s, to the 1800s. These are the pictures from the National Archive in Saudi Arabia called the Malik Abdul Aziz Archive. I'm going to stop at 3 of them, inshallah, to give you some context of what Medina was like. So again, these pictures are from 1880 right here, what I'm pointing to. And I want you guys to look at this one right here. This is behind the door. Look at this one. Okay, you see this one? You see this one right here? And this is a picture from 1880. Hasib is not making up things. It says right there 1880. Okay? This picture is a picture of the inside of Masjid Nabwi. And I want you to look at it because this is something that unfortunately we have lost understanding of in our tradition. And in fact, I made this picture the cover of my book for a reason. I'll show it to you. Who is this? Who is this? Huh?
Sister.
A what?
Sister.
A sister, exactly. Women did not have a barrier between men for the entire history of the Prophet ﷺ's masjid until 1995. That's when there was a barrier installed between men and women. I've met 4 women at least that lived, not in the 1800s, right? But in the early 1960s as well as the 50s, where they lived in the time where they could go freely into the masjid as much as they liked. And they prayed just like this, behind the men. And I would ask them, what about Tarawih? How did you guys pray? They said, we just prayed, the rolla? I said, yeah, the left of the rolla? I said, yes. They said, we prayed behind the men right over there. I said, how did you guys separate? They said, we gave them space. I was like, oh, that makes sense. So I said, how did you pray in the rolla? Was there like women times and men times? They said, no. Men prayed over there, women prayed over here. It was very normal. I said, oh yeah, that makes sense too, right? Alhamdulillah. This shows you how much of cultural baggage exists in our understandings of our faith.
Yep.
That the Prophet ﷺ masjid did not have this all the way until 1995, until what you see today. Until what you see today. This is the middle of the masjid where now there are umbrellas. There are now umbrellas, and this is called the courtyard. It was called the courtyard of the masjid. There was a giant tree, and there was a well, and both of that were destroyed, and then they made the wells here. I'm sorry, the umbrellas. So now we're going to move on. Try to stay in the shade. I want you guys to be as comfortable as possible. Okay, so just check this picture out. It's a very big picture. Please just sit. No, you're good, sister. You're good, sister. You're good. You're good. Okay, excellent. I wanted you guys to see this because this is a picture of Medina. You can see the Prophet's masjid. Medina was a fortress city, just like Jerusalem is to this day. The old city and Masjid al-Aqsa are within a fortress that was built by the Ottomans, and that was like Medina. There was a wall around the entire city. I want you to notice something. Walk with me. What is this right here? What is this? It goes all the way down.
Animals?
Huh?
Animals?
Rocket? Market? No, it's not the market. What is this?
Animals?
Prayer? No. What? Car park?
No, animals.
Animals. What kind of animals?
Goats and camels?
Goats?
Camels?
It's a big goat, dude. Camels. This was the Haram parking lot in 1880. Because cars weren't invented then, guys. Come on. So they used to come by caravan. Your great-grandparents came to Hajj like this. In caravans. Look how big it is. All the way at the end of the picture, down. So people, when they would come by caravan, they would come park their car, aka their camel, right, outside of the city of Medina, in the city walls. Then they would take their belongings, go through the door of Medina, and walk to the city of the Prophet ﷺ and his masjid out of respect and reverence. They didn't want to bring their animals because they have droppings, like exhaust, right? So they wanted to respect the city of the Prophet ﷺ. Look how much they respected, that they would walk literally 30 minutes, 40 minutes to the Prophet ﷺ's masjid. Now I have something for all of you. When you see people throwing their cups, their plastic cups, don't start yelling and cursing people like, what's wrong with people? The Muslim Ummah, astaghfirullah, right? Go and pick it up, throw it away. Be in the service of this masjid. Show reverence to this masjid, and also teach them. Say, this is the city of the Prophet ﷺ. Don't do that. Or you see somebody accidentally push you. Be kind to the people that come here. Some of them have waited 10 years to come here.